I on time today? Almost. It is what it is. Ooh, this tea is hot. This tea is hot. Beautiful people, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. I know that we weren't here last Thursday, but we are here today. I'm so happy to see some familiar names. We do have a special co-host today. Peace, peace. Ebony Beauty. Peace, peace. Brooklyn, Danny Jr. We do have a special guest today, Alex Serves. If you follow her on TikTok, then you are familiar. Today is going to be a good talk. Today is going to be a good talk. Blessings to all your beautiful souls. Blessings to all your beautiful souls. Yes. And have a special co-host today. You guys know that blessings. You guys know that Carrie is out today. Carrie is on her Zencation. So we do have a special co-host today, Caitlin. Queen Luster. Gonna wait for her to come up in here. Miss Jazzaby, I see you. All right, Queen Luster, I see you just joined up in here. Okay. Do you have your YouTube channel back? Yes, I'm going to be addressing that. I got some announcements. So we about to get up in. 1 second. Actually, let me just go ahead and bring you up because TikTok or IG likes to
Hey.
mess with my account sometimes.
Oh, I'm
Peace. There she is. I see your silhouette.
yeah.
I see your silhouette. I see the sun behind.
Hi.
Alex, peace. Welcome.
Oh my God, you know that you didn't come up, and even looking you up, you still were not coming up. They're doing that to me too.
Wow. Yeah, I'm. I keep getting DMs with people telling me that they're like, "Is your IG deleted?" On TikTok they'll send me that. I'm like, no. You're just really hard to find me. You have to turn on like the
my
post
followers
notifications.
on me like they're hiding you. I can't find you. I can't look you up. I can't your lives. I was like waiting for the lives to pop up, and I was like, okay, let me look him up. I literally wrote Astro, didn't come up. 5D, then it came up. I'm like, damn, they're hiding him bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's also somebody impersonating
Wait, I
me.
can't.
So
Can you guys hear him? I can't hear you.
You were Lord, I'm trying to get the gleam off my screen. You're a little echoed there, Astro.
Okay, let me turn down the music. I was running out. Can you hear me now?
Okay. Turn this way. There we go. Yeah.
Can you hear me now? No? Okay, perfect. Yeah, so there's somebody impersonating me, I guess, DMing people, asking them for readings. So if somebody DMs you saying that if you would like a reading, just know it's not me. I would never do that.
I have so many fake accounts, and everyone's like, thanks for the reading. I'm like, wasn't me. You just gave your money away to someone. Sorry. I literally have it pinned. I said I do not do readings, and people still don't look. I'm like, y'all, come on.
Right. Okay, so let me get into these announcements, and then we have I personally feel we have a pretty good show today. Okay, so first, we have a Mars retrograde. I feel like the most popular retrograde is Mercury. That's the one like a lot of people just know that it's in retrograde, and it's like all over different big corporations and social media. But let's talk about Mars retrograde. All right, so the notes that I have for today: Mars represents your will and drive. Mars rules over your determination and your impulses. The way that you do things, the way that you handle your dharma is led by Mars. Mars is currently in the sign of Gemini, and Gemini is a mutable air. Gemini is more of like mental, the way you communicate. And it's in the first house, and it's in retrograde, of course, and it's at 13 degrees. So this means spontaneity, it's going to be, you're going to be experiencing a lot of like spontaneity when it comes to your image. Like you want to change the way that you might delete something offline because you don't like the way it represents you. You might completely redo your room because you don't like the way it's making you feel. You might change your wardrobe. Like it's right now, it's all about and expect the fact that Mars represents your impulses and the fact that it's in the sign of Gemini, your impulses might just be a little like you might be like, whoa, I can do this. Wait, pause. I can do this. So you can use that energy to go back and pick up things that you left unfinished because it is in the retrograde energy. So right now is the best time to work on things that you left unfinished that can add or change to your self-image, so you can take the initiative and be courageous about your identity, especially your digital identity. So yeah, so practice willpower with your vices. Let me repeat, practice willpower with your vices and put more time building up you. So let's say you would, take your herbal medication, like 3 times a day. Let's say the second time, pause, say, you know what? Let me earn this. Let me make this a reward, and then put that energy back into whatever you were working on, and I guarantee you will be rewarded. Right now with True Node conjuncting with Uranus, it's just a very auspicious time when it comes to following that intuitive pull of your North Node. So if you don't know what your North Node is, tap into your natal chart, find it. I made videos about it. DM me if you really need help, but follow your North Node energy, especially right now. Okay, and so the topics that I have for today, we're going to get into artificial babies. These are just topics that you can touch on if you want. Artificial babies. The second one is rent is ghetto. All right, and the third one is the third one is dreams. All right, and ways that you can support. If you guys don't know, right now you are on a podcast. This episode will be available tomorrow on the 5D Mystery School podcast on Apple Podcast platforms, and I believe it's on Spotify now and Stitcher. So ways that you can support the podcast: you can follow my new YouTube channel because, of course, my previous YouTube channel was deleted. You guys know that. Yeah, they deleted me. So they didn't give me an excuse. I had 1 strike, so I had 2 more strikes to get. So I guess they just expedited my strikes, and was like, and what was weird is that I appealed it, and then they were like, okay, we reviewed your channel and decided that it doesn't violate any guidelines, and they restored my channel. And then maybe a couple hours later, I got an email saying, you know what, we reviewed it again and decided that it does violate our guidelines, and they deleted it. So I'm like,
No.
nah, that's crazy.
You're spilling too much truth.
Yeah,
you're educating
people
too much. They don't like that.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, let me just not upload any more videos talking about the soup. And I was like, okay, so I haven't uploaded any more videos talking about, the jab, and it's still, they still have a hard on for me. So whatever. So yeah, anyway, so you can follow my new YouTube channel. Handle is at 5D Mystery School. Subscribe to Patreon. You guys know I have been uploading all of my combined lectures to Patreon as well, in case YouTube catches me lacking again. And you can tap in with astroherbs.org. I do have 100% wild-crafted and organic herbal blends that I do make with love right here. And basically, just hit the link in my bio and support something. Show your love. Shit. Okay. So, in case you haven't noticed, there are no more lectures for 2022. I haven't been doing any more lectures. Primeval Waters was the last lecture for the year. Again, if you are interested in the Money Mastermind starting next month, where every Monday we will be meeting together. This is especially for business owners. If you have LLCs, if you want to get together. Thank you, Ibani. I want to pin that. especially for business owners, if you have an LLC, if you don't have an LLC, you want to start one, you want to learn how to make money, financial literacy, how to stop paying rent, how to own businesses, how to join with other people. Say, I have $1,000, you have $1,000, you have $1,000. Let's buy real estate and do Airbnb, whatever. We're just going to be meeting Monday so that we can figure out how you guys can stop working 9 to 5s, which is the trap, and start working for yourself. And you have financial freedom. You can rise up and do anything that you want to. All right, because that when you clock in for somebody else, you're still a slave. I mean, it is what it is. So let's call it the truth. All right. And so the last thing is, I would like to start a movie night soon via Zoom or IG. I want to start a movie night, yo, because there's so many.
I've been having that idea too. I'm like, I want to watch movies with you guys and talk about it. Everybody's like, do it. I'm like, I don't know how.
Right. I wish they had like a Netflix watch party, but like for like groups of like 50 to 100, because I want everybody just to kind of, you know what I mean, like to get together and exchange ideas with some of these films, because you guys know they put the truth in films. Like, so I'm gonna find a way to do that, especially around when it comes closer to Christmas, for anybody who's spending the holiday season alone. Like, okay, so y'all know how we do it. Let me go ahead and light some sage, clean up all the vibes up in here. All right, then we got a sound bowl. If you got any expectations, affirmations, anything you would like to learn from this live class discussion today, please go ahead and put the energy out there. If you want to talk about anything, please go ahead and put it in the comment section. All right. So I'm going to chime this 3 times. Every time I chime, take a deep breath in and release. All right. Sponsored by Organic Frequencies. Okay. All right. So let's get into it, y'all. Let's tap in. So the first thing I want us to do is go ahead and, Kayla, you can introduce yourself for people that don't know you. They should know you, especially if they're, they've been here. And then we're going to go ahead and tap into
first off, thank you for inviting me on. I'm happy to be here as always. For those of you who don't know, like Astro said, my name is Kayla. I am a Cancer Sun, Gemini Moon, Pisces Rising, and it's going to be a good show, y'all. I'm ready to go.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right. And Alex, please go ahead and introduce yourself.
And I guess I'll let you know my big 3 too. Taurus Sun, Pisces Moon, Taurus Rising. But I'm May 20th, so it's right on the cusp. So depending on the time you're born, you could be Taurus or Gemini. I definitely have traits of both. I'm also a Gemini Mars and Mercury and a Taurus Venus. So I'm all over the place for sure.
Taurus energy is strong for real. You about your coin. I know that. You about tapping into the earth. That's why you're always at these different meetings, doing retreats with ayahuasca or some type of that's Taurus. Y'all are always out somewhere touching grass. Y'all got y'all feet in sand or grass.
I didn't used to be. I was not an outside girl, but when I did ayahuasca in May for my 35th birthday, Mama Gaia pulled me down. She pulled me down and was like, I need you in nature. And I'm like, 88 people on. And I was like, okay, and now I can't. I have to be outside. I get my downloads. I channel a lot. I get cards a lot. I mean, because she gives me so much information when I'm out there. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess I have to be out there more. Yeah,
that's a fact. And Taurus and Cancers are actually super like close,
super alike. Yeah.
friends. Super.
I
Yeah.
had issues with cancers in the past, but
Yep.
like
So
now I'm working with cancers, and I was like, oh, okay, I just need to work with evolved cancers. Got it. Okay.
exactly. Yeah. And y'all know I bring people up here that I really, mess with. Me and Alex, we text
Yeah.
outside of social media. So I like to, it's important to tap in with people that are like-minded, especially with the way that we're going. It's all right. So let's dive straight in. So especially with the way that we're going, I feel as though there's a clear divide. And I'm gonna segue this into, because I told Alex I wanted to talk to her for about 30 minutes with some stuff. I don't know if y'all know the drama that's going on with Alex, but we about to tap into. So I feel like there's a clear divide that's happening right now. Like before 2020, even like before 2012, like you can kind of start to notice the divide if you were aware, if you were awake, right? Like 2012, I felt the shift like strongly. Like a lot of people talk about shifts and stuff now, but in 2012, I literally felt a fucking shift. Like I was leaving a New Year's party from Santa Monica, and I was on the bus, and I saw something happen in real life before it happened, and I was like, it was like right after midnight, and I was like, at the time, I mean, like you think about things before they're going to happen. You're like, holy shit, I knew that was going to happen. But when you see something happens before it happened, you kind of psych yourself out. You're like, wait, that's not even fucking possible. So apparently I must still be on like that weed or something. But anyway, like, so that's when I start to notice a shift. And then that's when like the public's really started to get more familiar with CERN, right? And so now I think that you can notice the divide more than ever, especially with every single CERN facility ramping up right now. Like you got the CERN facility in Chicago that's running right now as we speak. I forgot how long this is going to be running. But everything that's happening with CERN, I don't think that people understand the magnitude, like how powerful CERN actually is. Something that can actually change the magnetic field of an entire like planet, or whatever we are in here in this whatever. So something that can change the entire magnetic pool, and for people to actually feel it and say like, wait a minute, time feels different. Like the days are going faster or the days are going slower. Like these are things that people feel, and people feel it so much that they actually have to come out with news articles saying, hey guys, okay, days are actually going by faster.
Yeah.
Y'all caught us. You're like, so it's not just our imaginations. Like they'll drop something saying like, okay, time is going by faster. Okay, 99% of the world's population can see the sun at the same time. Okay, we're making artificial babies. So it's like as time progresses, they're literally saying like, you thought that shit was something? Boy, that was nothing. We making babies. And like they keep coming out with shit to kind of press the envelope to where it's like, do y'all get it now? Like, this is the singularity, to where you have no choice but to think to yourself, like, wait a minute, like, is this science fiction or is it real? So you have people that are aware. They're like, holy shit, we're here. We're at the singularity. Like, we got robotic maids. We have, like, we're about to have all of these things that we, like, flying cars. Like, these are things that are actually in production. You know what I mean? Like, cyberpunk, like those type of moves are here. So you have NPCs, but these NPCs are getting upgrades, right? And I say that to say, like, it's kind of hard now to just like to know who is an NPC unless you start to talk to them, because NPCs are getting better mimicking abilities. Like they're getting better imitating abilities. Like you can talk to somebody for like a minute, right? And they'll start talking to you about astrology. And then you're like, okay, you tapped in. And then you'll go down, you'll open a different door. Like, do you know about, this sign squaring this sign and negative, and you're like, oh wait, I don't know anything. I just saw a video and this is what I'm regurgitating. So you have people who can fake like they're woke, and then you have people who are, I don't want to say woke, but you have people who are aware, and then you have people who are, I don't want to say dead, but like fully asleep, right? And then you have these NPCs that are like dead, not dead. You have the
I just think
divide,
it's like
and then
levels of consciousness.
it's really,
It's like a split. Like some people have more tapped into
it
their
is,
consciousness, and some
it is,
people have
yeah,
not.
Most definitely.
it is, right. And the people who aren't tapped into their consciousness, like, it's almost like an empty shell now. Like, it's like an extreme of both sides. Like the people who are out here to remind the, so you have people who are here that can be lost in the sauce and become NPCs, right? And you have people who are incarnated here to remind them, like, look, if you don't get it together and realize that this is what it is, that you're going to keep reincarnating back into this body, and you're going to be like charged off. When a company charges off your credit, you're going to be charged off, and your memory is going to be wiped, and you're going to be an NPC. So I say that to say it's a clear divide that's happening. Like, I don't want to say we're shifting into 4D, 5D, 6D. I say that we're shifting into higher frequencies, and where those frequencies are leading us, you have the people that are aware and that are like behind the driver's wheel. And then you have the people who are just here and stuck, right? And that is the divide. Like the people who are stuck, their programs. And I want to segue with this. You have people here that are stuck, that are programs. The programs are here to interact with the main characters. And these programs come as challenges. These programs come as reminders. Like, let's say you are a main character, right? And you're stuck in a loop. And the only way to get unstuck is for the source energy to send an NPC with a lesson. Either it be like the NPC to make you mad, the NPC to test your patience, the NPC, whatever. But the NPC is going to come to say, okay, I'm here to fix your gear so that you can start grinding again. So that's where we are. And I want to get your opinions on this. Like that's the divide that we're on. That's the split. And so, Alex, you have been getting attacked for what I've just been saying, right? But you have taken it to another level with like the new Earth. And I saw a video recently of saying somebody was attacking you, saying that you were saying like you couldn't see past December or something like that. And then so I don't fully know the situation, but take us into that, segueing off of the divide I was just talking about.
Have been, you know me, I just talk what comes to me, and people who are not aware do not know how to process it in the way that I'm saying it. I think that I've been getting so many visions for the future timelines that I'll say I can't see past December, and people are like, what does this mean? Is the world gonna end? And I'm like, no. Like, so what happened with that kid was that kid said in 100 days we're gonna be in heaven, but the kid said we're gonna die and be in heaven. The kid was reading a book and there was a blank page and saw words that said in 100 days you'll be in heaven. So the kid, in a child's mind, the kid said, how do I get to heaven? Oh, I must die, because that is what humans and adults teach you. When you die, you go to heaven. So in a kid's mind, the kid processed it and said, we're going to die in 100 days. We're going to be in heaven. And 100 days from that video was February 26th. And I stitched it and I said, I told you guys, I'm seeing what kids are seeing. I cannot see past December. And so people took that and ran with it and said, you are so dangerous. You're telling people they're going to die. And I said, I never said we were going to die. I don't believe we're going to die. I can't see past December because we are shifting realities. We are raising the frequency. We're raising the vibrations. We're killing out these negative timelines. Because I go into the looking glass, seeing into the future. Like I've been meditating on, I watch Sam the Illusionist, who channels the Galactic Federation, tells us the future timelines. I tell my followers, we meditate on it, which is why they banned me, because they knew that I was raising the frequency with the collective, because I have 1 million followers on TikTok. So they took my account down because I was raising the frequency way too much and killing out their timelines, and they did not like that. So they were coming after me. So in September, Sam the Illusionist, like everybody was talking about the September 24th date. I didn't know anything about it, but Sam channeled that graduation into the new earth would be from the 20th through the 29th. So I held a meditation. I had one scheduled. They banned me. And then they would not let me hold the meditation on TikTok. I had to do it on Instagram. But people were running to me like, what is your view on September 24th? I said, I have no idea, but don't fear. If anything happens, it is a spiritual war that we may not see here. So let's just meditate and raise the frequencies. There may be attacks on you. Keep the vibes high. Well, little did I know that the attacks were going to be on me, because the way the fucking TikTok turned on me, we're like, attack, 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 attack. And I was like, damn, like I really manifested that shit for telling people that. So it was okay, because I understood that like I was taking it on for the collective and all the attacks were on me. But the people that knew what was happening were like, oh, this is so obvious. It's like, if you guys haven't watched the Mysterious Benedict Society on the Disney Channel, the Disney app, the frequencies that are let out, that I think there's a viral video about it. Frequencies are let out from these towers or whatever, or CERN. People don't understand that this is real. Like, how do you think Mandela effects happen? It's a glitch in the matrix. Like, we don't realize this isn't like a physical thing they're showing us. It's just there. So it's the same thing with these frequencies. These thoughts get put in your head, and these people that are attacking me, I was like, what is happening? And like, oh my God, it was so bad. And thank God, like, you know, you were checking in on me. You're like, how are you doing? Are you okay? And I'm like, I'm hanging in there, because I could feel the spiritual attack on me. I mean, there was a day where I was in bed and I couldn't get out because the energy was pulling, and I was crying, and I was messaging my followers, and I was like, what do? I need protection. I need something. They're doing spells on me. I can feel it, because it was so many negative energies coming after me. And they were like, get your Florida water, do a protection spell. Like, they were walking me through it, and I'm like, okay, because I could feel the attack. It was so much, and it was for 3 months nonstop, attack after attack after attack. I mean, to the point where they were emailing TikTok, mass reporting me, telling me to get out. They said, we're not going to stop until you get off the internet. And I said, well, you met your fucking match, because I'm not stopping either. And I just kept going. I was like, take me off fucking TikTok. They took my account down on October 11th, and I just moved over to Instagram, and people were like, I've been looking for you. And I'm like, thank God you found me, because I felt bad for the people that I was helping. There was a lot of people that were understanding now. They were like, oh, I get it. Like, this is what the thoughts in my head are, because they aligned with mine, the collective awakening, the great awakening. But the people who didn't get it were just like so confused and sucked into this negativity. And my followers would be like, oh, these people are showing up on my For You page, and I want to fight for you, and I want to say these things. And people would get angry, and they would get in fights. And I was like, I got to the point where I realized, like, oh, no, this is what they want. They want all of us at this lower vibration. I said, I do not want to hear about it. Block them. Do not let them into your frequency. I said, you need to shut that shit down, because I can't even watch the videos, because I can feel the energy is so negative. I'm like, I can't. That's what they want. That's what they want. And you don't even know if these people are real. I mean, I literally just posted a video, and they took it down, about the lawsuit that is happening against Facebook, Google, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Neuralink, for creating these AIs, for attempting to commit genocide on humanity through these apps. They are trying to steal our consciousness. They are trying to create these AI. They will make an AI that looks literally just like you and I. You can think this is a real person. they're just showing us, like you just said, the tip of the fucking iceberg. They aren't showing us the truth. This technology has been around for 100 fucking years and more that they have hidden from us. And I'm like, you guys have to stop believing these people. You don't even know this person is real. I'm like, how does this person have this much time to focus on me? How are they waking up every day, watching my stuff, making a video the minute I post it? This isn't real. It cannot be real. This has to be an AI that looks like a human, that is the opposition. And when I got to that point, I was like, that's when I was able to let it go, because I just was like trying to fight for myself and defend myself. And thank God for my followers, because I'm like, I would not have survived without you guys. Like, you guys pushed me through this fucking struggle. And then they gave me my account back December the 7th. I manifested it back and I just got it back. I'm super shadow banned, but that is how you can tell when there is this frequency that you can clearly see. When the veil is gone, you can see what is happening. Why are people have found me because of the videos that were attacking me. So I knew that when I got kicked off, I was like, oh, this is meant to happen, because what happened? The videos kept going viral. If you look me up on TikTok, I mean, I was a fucking hashtag. I'm like, okay, thank you. So I'm like, clearly I made it, because I'm like, why are y'all so obsessed with me? I'm sitting here talking about, let's raise the vibe, let's meditate, frequency, and they're like, you're dangerous, you're dangerous, you're dangerous, you're dangerous. I'm like, dangerous to who? Dangerous to the system, bitch. Dangerous to the fucking system that you want to keep everybody trapped in. And I'm gonna keep talking my shit, and I'm gonna keep canceling out these timelines, and we're gonna keep going on to the new earth. And that's what we kept doing. And people, I mean, it was hard. It was really hard. People were like, don't give up, please don't give up, because imagine getting attacked every single day, people telling you to kill yourself, you need to get off the internet. And I'm like, God, these people, it's like, thank God I'm that strong, because I've been through a lot of bullying in my life, so I was able to handle it. But people weren't I didn't realize that people didn't know how to process my words of me saying, yeah, I'm seeing what kids are seeing, because I'm saying we're going to be in heaven in 100 days. We're going to have a different reality. Things are going to get better. They were saying, you're dangerous. You said people are going to die. I said, I never said that. And then they're like, well, you know what you meant. I'm like, no, you don't know what I meant. You don't know. You don't know how to think deeper. You don't know how to think like a child thinks. How does a child think? Let's go back to when you were 7. How did you think? How did you process things? Oh, how am I going to get to heaven? Oh, I guess I have to die. Okay, we're all going to die. I don't think that the message the kid got was you're going to die. It was you'll be in heaven. The kid just had to interpret it that way. And I'm like, damn, I got to walk adults through this? I have to walk adults through this thinking? Like, this is elementary. Like, I should not be having to walk you through this. So it was a process. But you know what? I needed it. And you were there for me, and you were like, take the time. Just center yourself, meditate, don't pay attention to that. And it was a blessing in disguise, because I got to go back into myself, take time away, really focus on myself, get into crystals, learn about more manifesting, more meditating, going out into nature every day, really centering. And it is just like, my ascension has just been like on speed because of me getting that account taken away. And the people that were meant to find me are still finding me to this day. People are still finding me. Like, I just found you today. I'm like, what? How are you guys still finding me? So everything is in divine timing. Everything is the way it's supposed to be. It was a blessing in disguise. I'm happy of how everything worked out. And I'm happy that the people that understand me are here. And I'm just so thankful for you, because you were there for me when so many people turned on me. A lot of my friends turned on me that I was really shocked. Like, friends that from TikTok that I hung out with, that I was friends with, they all turned on me. I'm like, wow, you guys really care more about your image online than you do about the truth. But okay.
Yeah, it was
sorry, it was kind of
by the way,
long, but I wanted to put it all into one.
No, it wasn't. It was that's what we're here for. This connection, you know, I feel as though we're actually, I don't want to say we're living in the last couple of years where I feel as though we're going to be able to do this at the scale we're doing this so freely, talking like this, without it being heavily monitored and stuff like that. But yeah, I saw on TikTok, I mean, it was at one point where every 2 or 3 videos, it was like, Alex. I was like, holy shit, like everybody. It was kind of like when, you know, when it was this one scene in The Matrix when Neo went to go talk to the Oracle, and they they had a special room that was given to them by the keymaker. And somehow Mr. Anderson or not Mr. Anderson, Mr. Smith still found them. And it was like hundreds, probably thousands of agents. And that's what is happening that's what's happening on TikTok at that point. You have agents, you have NPCs that get these downloads, these programs like Hive Mind. They're like, okay, this is who we're supposed to be mad at. And this is how sometimes it's easy for the elusive ones to put out a certain article and get the masses to be mad at a certain celebrity because they know it's like hive mind type thinking. So if Alex is the person to target right now, then the NPCs are going to get in line and target you because you're disrupting the programs, you're disrupting the codes. Everybody's supposed to be workers, not, thinkers. That's what they want. So I surely think.
Well, I was gonna say,
go ahead.
as she was talking, for me, it's like a faith and fear divide. Either you're on the faithful side or you're on the fearful side. And
no, I agree. That's really what low vibration is.
Yeah.
It's just fear.
Yeah.
It's just fear. People are scared.
Yeah.
It's just low vibration. When people say, because I was making videos on how to heal yourself by activating your chakras, like which ones you should focus on, that you don't need to take these medications. And they're like, how dare you tell people not to take medication? I'm like, these people are so brainwashed that they want to stay sick. They want to stay a victim. They want to stay at this low vibration. They don't want to heal. People don't want to heal. Some people just want to stay a victim. And I'm like, I don't want to be a victim. I want to heal. So I'm going to go over here. And it's very true. It's having faith. I told people, I posted a video on my YouTube on October 8th where I was just crying because I was just like, dude, is this ever going to end? And I was like, I need you guys to believe in something bigger than yourselves. Okay. There is more out there and we need help. We cannot do this alone. We have tried to do this alone. We have picketed. We have striked. We have tried to change legislation. We have used our voices. We have done everything. It comes to a point where these forces are so strong. We need to call for outside help. Okay. Yeah. Enough with thinking that you are everything. You're not everything yet. We have to get there. We have to progress as humans. We should have been performing the miracles that Jesus was performing when Jesus was here 2,000 years ago. That's how behind we are as a species. We are so behind. We have to tap into our powers, and our powers are going to come at record speed because of how behind we are. And we have quantum leaped into this new reality where now the powers are coming the ascension is happening so quickly for the people who are open to it.
Look, the NPCs, you were just saying the NPCs are getting upgrades. And I really believe that's because we're getting upgrades too. So as we upgrade, they kind of have to upgrade the NPCs as well.
Exactly.
Facts. And I truly feel like they, a lot of us are targeted individuals, and you might not even know you're a targeted individual. Like a lot of you are on lists, and you don't even know that you're on lists. You're thinking like, ain't nobody fucking watching me.
Oh, they're watching.
Okay,
that's true.
They're watching you for real, right? So it's like the ones that are on the targeted list and the ones that are truly out here, like that don't give a, like me and Alex, y'all can look at our platforms and tell, okay, they don't, they're risking everything because we are. That's what we're here for, right? These bodies are just rentals. That's, if you know, you know. So the NPCs now, when I say targeted individuals, you have certain ones that are on attack mode, like whether it be online, whether it be in real life. Right now, the energy is heavy. You have, I don't want to say, I feel like we are reaching like this Orwellian type of like state, right? Because we have Taurus, right, that's in conjunction with Uranus. And the last time, every time that these Taurus and Uranus, or Taurus is in conjunction, not Taurus and Uranus, every time that the North Node and Taurus, every time the Taurus and North Node are in conjunction, there are these huge technological leaps. Like you had the internet, that was born out of this time. That you had Uranus and Taurus as well. You had Facebook that started when Taurus was in Uranus. And now you have, the other day I just saw they came out with, I forgot what anyway, right now you're just going to have like, don't be surprised if they come out with these like, for like the baby pods, that's an example. The baby pods, if they come out with something like virtual reality where you can kind of lay down in a virtual reality pad to like be fully immersed in the game, if they don't come out with that in the next, while we have this conjunction, then I believe it's going to come out by 2030, because by 2030 they want it to be like everything digital. Like they don't even want you to own a fucking cup. Like they want everything digital, like everything digitized. So now this is why we have the soft push for your driver's license to be on your phone, the Amazon One, everything. Like they want everything to be buy and sell from an RFID chip. And so the reason why I say that that's like 1984 is because let's say it's 2030, right? Alex, let's say you have like 20 million, like 200 million followers on whatever social media platform, and you happen, right? And you happen to say like you don't like the president at that time. You like the president wore some ugly shoes yesterday, right? And let's say you rise up the next day and you're like, holy shit, my balance is at zero. Like I don't have any money because my social credit score was affected because of what I said online. And you can already see that's happening right now. Like Kanye, right? He said something online. It literally affected his money. And so we're seeing large public examples of this to condition us, right? Kanye said it a lot of, he said, guys, if this can happen to me, he kept saying that. If this can happen to me, guess what there's going to be happening to you? So that's why you keep hearing things like social credit score, social, what is it? Universal income, where they want everybody to make the same income. It's like you keep next thing you know, and I guarantee, like, okay, so I just got this download. The next thing you know, that's going to come out, they're going to have something like a national ID, right? So where, okay, it doesn't matter if you're from Florida or Georgia, you're from the United States. You're going to have one license that's going to say United States. Like, I really think that's coming, where they're going to have everybody kind of meshed together, and then they're going to have to where it's from United States to then it's global. They're going to have to find one way to where it's like a one world order, and that's what we're going to. So everything that's happening with the surveillance state, with the RFID chips, if you really sit back and look at it, even with the artificial babies, like everything is connected. Everything is connected. Like these new, let's just call them RFID babies. Like these new like chip babies, when they come, they're going to rise up everything with the upgrades and everything, and we're going to have to catch up with them. We're going to be the outcasts, because there are like, look how it is happening. And I have to be really careful because they're going to give me my monetary privileges back on the first, so I can't like say certain things on IG anymore. So look at what's happening right now with the soup, right? And how I truly believe the soup was a test to see how obedient we would be. And so everybody that was fed the soup, they are the obedient ones, and they are no longer human. They're transhuman.
Yeah, they all have a number. So if you have the soup, you essentially probably have a digital ID.
Yeah. So they made it it's written down to where anybody who takes this Frankenstein formula is no longer considered to be a human. They're pretty much like a transhuman. I can find the paperwork and put it up online, even though I think I've already did before. But that's where we are. that's where we are. We're at this Orwellian state, and I don't think it's going to get to the point to where we're going to have underground societies like it was in 1984, but maybe in some way we're already there. You got I mean, me and Alex are living in a shadow band land, so in a way we're kind of like underground online. We're kind of like an underground community online if you think about it like that. I mean, you literally have conspiracy theories. That's what everybody online kind of calls people that think outside the box. So it's like you already have a label to people who are other than, so you can kind of see things happening in stages. So what are your, like, how do you feel? Anybody can start first. Like, how do you feel as far as where we're going right now? Do you think that we are edging back to where we were pre-COVID or pre-2020? Or do you feel as though we're in a brave new world? Do you think we're never going to get back to that place and we're in this unfamiliar territory? Like, how do you feel?
Go ahead, Alex.
I have a different point of view of where we're headed than what you're thinking, which I know we've talked about on text, and you're like, I don't really know if I subscribe to the New Earth thing, but I do, because I'm a dreamer, and every download I've gotten has come true, and so I don't see us moving towards that. I think that they're showing us that to let us know this is what could happen if you guys don't wake up. And too many of us have woken up to what is happening, and our frequency and vibration is so high that it can cancel out those timelines, because they were planning on nuking us, like Putin was going to nuke us. They have tried so many timelines against us with CERN. When CERN was being turned on and everybody was freaking out, I was like, let's use this energy to raise the vibrations and frequency and cancel it out. And we did. There's a lot of things that they were planning behind the scenes that have not come to fruition because of us awakening as quickly as we have. I do believe that their last attempt will be December 23rd. They're going to attempt something with Yellowstone and a volcano, but that's their last attempt at affecting us as a humanity. I believe that all the negative timelines are completely done. I got the download that we have officially won the spiritual war on October 22nd, and they are still trying, which is why all this negative stuff is coming out about Hollywood, the king, you know, the drinking of, you know, and the eating of, you know, all this stuff is being exposed because we have won the spiritual war, and it's done. So everything has to come to light. So the Antarctic Treaty was supposed to be reviewed and revised in 2041, and it was done this year. So there's a lot going on in the military and government that things were foreseen for the future. With the looking glass, they couldn't see past 2030, but now they had to speed everything up because we created a tesseract. According to the Schumann resonance, we have raised our vibration and frequency so much that we created our the frequency went off the charts on the Schumann resonance, and there was an eclipse that went over the sun, and there was a blip in time that created a glitch in a matrix. So instead of us going from point A to point B and walking across, we brought it to us. So we are essentially now in the future already. So we have skipped all of these timelines that you're speaking of. The downloads I'm getting will not happen. The downloads I'm getting is 2023 is going to be a whole brand new reality where there will be no negative frequencies, no negative vibrations. I don't know if you believe in the Galactic Federation, but Sam the Illusionist channeled Metatron, and they said that there's a war on Mars happening, which we've been knowing because Mars is where they keep all the negative entities. There's a war on Mars, and they actually did resurrect the Luciferian memory complex because they're losing so much to humanity who has awakened, that they are trying to bring that energy back. And on December 21st, they are literally calling in all of the light beings from all of the cosmos and all of the entire universe to come and tell these negative entities, you can no longer fuck with Earth. We are going to move you somewhere else because they have already awakened too much, and this timeline is done. So they're going to move them over to where they won't have any backlash from light beings, because this is why we're seeing so many deaths in Hollywood. They are sacrificing people left and right to get their power back, but we've already won, so there's nothing they can do. So to me, I see it as we're about to have a really good Christmas and a really good fucking New Year's. And I don't know what is going to happen in 2023, but all I'm seeing is it is all positive. There's no negative timeline showing. I've gotten the download. We will not be paying taxes next year. I've gotten that since the beginning of this year. I will not be paying taxes next year. The system will crumble. That's why literally my tagline is dismantle the system, because we already did dismantle it. This is why everything's falling apart. So I think that the thing they're showing us is to instill fear in us, to keep us at that low vibration and be like, oh my God, they want to do the new world order. They want to microchip us. They want to do this. And it's like, we have the power to stop that. We can say, no, you're not. Because just like you said, oh, why do you think they're telling us this now? Because we caught on. Well, why do you think they're showing us this? We caught on. And they're like, fuck, we got to give them all the fucking script that we were planning, because it is over. It is over. It's done. So that's the downloads I'm getting. Hopefully everybody can get on my page, because that is a positive timeline, and I'm shifting over to the positive timeline rather than fearing of what's coming, because I do not agree with that at all. I do not subscribe to that reality. And so I'm manifesting it. Everything I've thought about and downloads I've gotten so far have come true, so I'm gonna still stick to that. So hopefully you guys can stick to that too, because it's way better than thinking that we're gonna be mind controlled and on this. Plus, everything that you talked about has actually already happened. I mean, what do you think TikTok is, right? Like, what is this social media? That is a social score. That is who is good, who based on numbers, who's popular, who's not, who do we like, who do we not like. They judge you based off numbers, off likes, off, you know, these little hearts. Like, that is already happening. It doesn't have to be like the episode of Black Mirror. Everything is already happening, already right in front of us. I mean, we're seeing UFOs. People are having encounters with extraterrestrials. This is all happening. It just depends what timeline you're on. Some people are seeing it first. Some people are not. So that's my speech.
All right. Thank you. Yes. All right. So let's get into it. The first thing I want to talk about would be the manifestation of next year and the things to come. Right. So I always tell people, don't be scared, be prepared. Right. There's nothing to be scared of. Fear is just false evidence appearing real. And the only way that it can appear real is if you give that false evidence thought. Right. And if you give that false evidence like the time of your energy. So I don't want to say that next year is going to be negative at all. I don't subscribe to that timeline, but I will say that it is a bit tricky to say that next year is going to be no negativity. Next year we're not going to be paying taxes. Like, all of these things
I
are
know,
very,
and that's
very
why I
big
get
statements.
attacked, baby.
Like,
I talk my shit. I talk my shit.
Right.
Mark my words.
Right.
You're gonna be like, damn, you're right. You didn't have to pay taxes.
Right. They're very big statements, and you know, I'm a pure manifesting generator, and I can manifest with the best of them. But we have to realize that it's a team game. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we were just here by ourselves and the fate of the universe dependent, like it was just decided on Astro 5D, then we'd
but
be
it
out
is
this
up to
motherfucker
us. You can subscribe to that reality.
Wait, no, but we are all connected, right? Let's say you are in the army. You are only as strong as your what?
Your crew.
Your weakest link. Right. So if you have a 5-man team and you got two men, they're rookies. Their gun is shaking. They don't know. They're probably going to shoot themselves in the foot. Are you going to allow them to lead the team and say, y'all got it, we go ahead back here, we just go get y'all back? Or are you going to be like, nah, y'all watch us, follow the lead, and then y'all learn as we go? So you have people who are out here who are in this, you know, we're all in this together. And the people who are still learning, the people who don't even know what amethyst is, that's okay. But you have the people who are out here, out in front, who incarnated with the mission to say, like, okay, I'm in this life for, let's say, like 40 years. But in this 40 years, I'm going to plant so many seeds that out of those 40, let's say like 110,000 seeds that I plant, 20,000 of those seeds are going to go on and evolve, right? So it's like we're here to remind people of why they're here, but we aren't here to say like, um, this is what you can and can't. Like, I'm not here to give people absolutes. I'm here to show people the possibilities of what can happen, right? So when I say like, this is, guys, be aware because this is what's happening and this is what's happening, you have a spiritual war that is heavy in these streets right now. Like, you have a spiritual war that you can feel. You have a spiritual war that is so heavy that it is changing timelines. And I don't, I consider myself to be a dream psychic, clairvoyant, like all of these titles. Your boy is gifted. But I won't say that, oh, I see this timeline ending, or because I'm not connecting with that. But the dreams that I do get, I do see, like, I do see people coming together, right? The way that I feel today, I feel as though, like, sometimes you can just feel like, if you know that there's a spiritual war happening right now, sometimes you can feel who's winning. Like, sometimes, like, you can even look at the sky sometimes, and you can just, like, you can, if you're tapped in, if you're truly tapped in, do you know what the fuck is going on, right? And right now, what is happening is there is like, as above, so below, right? So if it was all peaches and cream, then we would all, like, we wouldn't be paying rent right now. Like, we wouldn't be, like, we would feel like the shift is happening. As above, so below, as within, so without. So as within, let's say like Middle Earth, of their politics are going a certain way, then we're going to get the ricochet effect, right? If something's happening a certain way above us, at the heavens above us, in the realms above us, in the dimensions above us, then we're going to be a reflection of that. So when you have certain people that pop up, and you do have a lot of misinformation agents that are placed by the government. So they know that people like us want to grab onto something so bad. So they'll come out with something like Project Unicorn Nipples. And then they'll put it in front of like these huge like conspiracy channels, and they'll be like, come take this conspiracy glitter, and then they'll throw it on you. And then without doing any fucking research, the average person who wants just to, and this person, like, you aren't wrong when you put out something without doing research, because you truly do have a good heart. But when you're given something by a misinformation agent and it's put out to you, it's up to you then to say, okay, I am a vessel. Either this lie is going to stop here, or I'm going to continue this lie. So it's up to us to double check and triple check the sources of where we're getting this shit. Even if it is a download, do you know who can be giving you shit? Like, downloads don't just come from positive energy. Like, you have positive, it's a yin and a yang, it's a dark and a light. So you can be getting a download from the
mud.
most negative, right? You can be getting a download from the most negative entity who, to you, it's just a voice. To you, it's just oh my God, somebody chose me. Guess who chose you, bruh? Beetlejuice. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not the, so I feel like, and everybody here, like, if I didn't fuck with you, you wouldn't. So even though we have these different messages, right? Because you're getting a download saying that next year is gonna be all bubblegum. I'm getting a download that's saying like next year is gonna be more of the same, but we're getting closer. But more people are rising. But more people are realizing that, oh, wait a minute, I've been lied to. Oh, wait a minute, I've been hosed. Oh, wait a minute, I don't have to work this 9 to 5. Because I swear to you, y'all, like, I see it. I truly see it happening. Like, my sister, who's a fucking Harvard lawyer, is talking about like hippie shit. You know, like people who you would never think that would be spiritual and into, like, the world is changing. So I say you can notice a timeline that's happening. You can notice what's going on around us, you could be aware of it. You don't have to live in fear of it. I say always stay aware and realize, pay attention to who you're following, because the person that you're following, you have to make sure that they're going to the same destination that you want to go to. You feel me? So, like, there's no reason to live in fear at all. I will say that we are headed to a place that's positive, but I would not sit here and lie to you and say, like, next year is going to be some shit that is not. Because next year, your ass is still going to be waking up, going at 9 to 5, working. You know, you still going to be, like, it's still going to be more of the same. But if more people realize what it is, or more people say, you know what, I'm going to put down the Gucci today, and I'm going to pick up Amethyst today. I'm going to say, you know what, I'm going to pause on McDonald's, and I'm going to go to the community garden. You know what, I'm going to not play the video game right now, and I'm going to meditate with my homie. I'm going to FaceTime my homie, and we go meditate. So we have more people that are making those type of decisions that add to the collective, more people that are selfless. I love selfless people. You can tell when people are selfless. I can't stand selfish people. Like, I give more of my time to other people than I give to myself. You feel me? Because I just had my homie that I knew since I was born. I told y'all this before, but he fucking died like last month. And that shit is still fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was 33. Like, I just, like, before this live, I just listened to our song that we dropped at the end of last year. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you have to, like, you truly have to realize that you're only given a certain amount of years in this life. So while you're here, do you really want to be spending $1,000 on a fucking Louis Vuitton t-shirt, or do you want to take that $1,000 and, I don't know, start a rent-free community with somebody? Like, I say, while we're here, if we truly tap into the energy of being selfless, we can make more, we can shift the consciousness more in 1 year than the entire humanity, like the entire human history.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
And that's what we've been doing, yeah.
I think,
so
you know, for me personally, and I can only speak for myself, but definitely the year of 2022 has been, the theme has been collective. Finding your tribe, finding those little special people, those little special pebbles in the pond, and really being able to come together to get ready for what's coming. Positive and negative is always it's perception for me. It's, you know, it's all about how you perceive it, right? But, you know, definitely moving into the future timelines, like you say, the higher timelines, is whatever we accomplish is going to be accomplished with the collective, with the oneness, and moving, you know, in that state. It's not going to be, you know, first of all, I can't wait to be done with taxes. My God. Rent is very ghetto.
Yeah.
Like, who the hell? Rent is
so ghetto.
Rent is so ghetto.
But the way that we get out of that is collectively coming together, building these communities, really locking in with like-minded souls, and, you know, each one teach one, right? Move on. We touch 100 more. We touch, you know, whether you. One thing that I like to tell people is that everyone is an influencer, right? It does not matter if you just influence one person. That one person is a ripple in the timeline. You know what I mean? So all it takes for you to be selfless with one person. You know, I may be here for 40 years, who knows? And my mission may not be to touch 20 or 200. It may be just to touch one. It may be just to connect with one. Yeah. So, you know, I'm excited for what's to come, but it's going to be be work, you know what I mean? It's going to be a lot of self-sufficiency. It's going to be, you know, growing your own food type jig. It's going to be letting go of the old, like the pre-COVID, the pre-soup or whatever. It's going to be letting go of all of the things that have made us comfortable, independent, and that have really made us fucking, you know, lazy to an extent. And it made us lose our self-sufficiency. So some people may view that as negative, right? But those of us who know and who know better, you know, that is all very, very positive, to be able to be on your own land, to be able to, you know, build your own house, grow your own food, run your own community, to be able to make your own decisions without the government or a fucking AI bot completing your sentences for you.
Yo, oh my God, I'm so glad you said that. Okay, so I put a tweet out in 2020 that was like, I said something like, y'all keep your eyes on this chat GPT. It's gonna be big. And Google is so clever. They are so fucking clever the way that I don't know if it's Google, whoever did it, whatever company just slipped in this chat GPT, and now you got people on TikTok that they're not getting paid, but they are ambassadors of the program or whatever it is. They are like, oh my God, this chat GPT is changing my life. Pretty much, it's like a digital assistant, Google on steroids. You can say, I need this website to be made for me, and you don't know anything about coding. It will code the fucking website for you or tell you how to code it. Like, it is going to make people the epitome of lazy, because it is making you hyper codependent on AI. Like, I truly think that thinking is going to be a lost, like, people are going to forget how to like formulate like coherent thoughts, because they're going to be so used to, how do you make cereal? You know, they're going to like just, right. Like, even now, when you ask somebody just a simple, I could text my sister, like, hey, what was the name of that yada yada that we, and then she'll just send me back a video of like somebody Googling something. And I'm like, oh shit, we're there. Where people are just telling you to Google things.
I would ask my sister all the time for help on something. She'd be like, girl, just Google it. I'm like, can you just help me? You already know.
But don't you get so, it's like automatic. Right? You tell people, you know, just Google it. What are you asking me for? Just Google. Google has the answer.
I get mad because I'm like, you already know how to do it.
Exactly.
Can you just help me? Like, why can't you just help me? You have the knowledge. Why do you want me to Google it? Like, what if Google tells me something wrong? You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Siri, Alexa, Google. I truly think that, every single thing that you have ever asked Siri or Alexa is stored somewhere. Like, I don't think that you ask a question and it just goes away. I think they have a database of these questions because they want to know how we think.
Oh yeah. Oh,
you know,
of course.
You know what I mean? And like your question is assigned to your personal profile. Like every Snapchat video that you ever uploaded, every TikTok video you ever uploaded, like every piece of content that you have ever uploaded, like ever, when you were, since the inception of Facebook and whatever, every piece of content, like it'll say your name, and then it'll have all of your shit. It'll have all of your DMs, because Twitter just came out and said that they can read our DMs. We already knew it though. No, everything.
It's
right?
true. Like, when they take your account down, or if you want to download your data from these apps, I thought like, oh, they'll just show me my pictures or videos. No, they track everything. They're like, you can download your conversations, your stories that you haven't even archived. I'm like, oh, they keep everything.
Like they're building so I heard that, you know how when you get a bill, right? So your regular mail, you get it, it comes, your first name is capitalized, your last name is capitalized. But when you get a bill, it's in all caps, everything. So I heard this story that said basically when you're born, the government, it's you, and then the government makes a clone of you immediately, you know, and the clone is the all caps name version of you. So essentially all of this information that they're building, storing in on us
What?
is used to, if you could think that there was a clone version of you right now in a lab.
No, dude, I've been
downloaded.
thinking this. I have been thinking, I'm like, there's
Yes.
gotta be a clone of me somewhere. There has to be a clone.
Getting downloaded all of this information.
Yeah, there's
Wow.
straw man. Yep, they're saying it right now. What I've been hearing is that, okay, just going off what you were saying, to veggie back off that, when you're born, you know, they take your DNA and everything, they store that. But then it's like your parents, they sell you to the government, and like you by signing the birth certificate and everything, you say that you're under the care of the government, like, and you are accepting the trust of the government. So that's why every time you fill out something, you have to sign your social security number, because your social security number is pretty much like your account number. And if you want to be emancipated from the government, then you can take this straw man route that they're talking about in the comments. I don't know how to do it. I think it's tricky to become a national, you know, you could be like a Moorish nationalist or whatever you want to be, like you can be a nationalist, and everything that you want to pay for is charged off to this account. Like you don't have to pay for anything. You can get free cars. Like, this is what I've been hearing. I don't know how to do it. I hear like once you go after all of that, you become a target. And I don't need no more.
I do have
I
do have a mutual on TikTok
like,
that explains how to become how to completely. She's like, it's not hard, but it's hard when you first start getting into it to do all that. And I'm like, I've looked into it. I'm like, damn, this is a lot of work. They make it really hard.
Right? Like, all right, so I think that we're reaching this point to where, I don't know, maybe it could just be me. Let me know if y'all agree. Or so I think that we're reaching this point to where, like, I think that in the 70s, right, they were more like together. Like, I think right now we're more like divided, as you know, like we're more into like the black versus white, we're more into like the gay versus straight, we're more into the, you know, soup versus non-soup. It's like we just have all these different ways to, like, they don't care whatever it is, as long as we not agreeing. They're like, we don't care, y'all just disagree. That's what they want to happen, right? But I feel as though more people are becoming aware, especially, like, I think that this whole soup thing backfired, because I think that the people who didn't get the soup, they're like, wait a minute, holy shit, that's what they were like. And then you have like the Die Suddenly documentary that just came out. So you have the people who realize that they were hoes and that they're seeing their family members dying or their friends dying or whatever. And so those people are like, wait, I'm never going back to sleep again, right? So I think that we're reaching this point to where more people are coming together and more people are figuring out ways to, like, live for free. And one thing that I truly feel is coming is communes. That's pretty much like the big point I want to make. One thing that I really think that's coming is communes. Like, people are going to buy these, either be like a neighborhood or a home. Let's say like you can go to Atlanta right now. My sister has I think a 4-bedroom house in Atlanta for the same price I'm paying for my high rise here in Detroit. And let's say you get like 4 people, 8 people, fuck it. Let's say you get 8 people and you're like, I don't care what size my room is. I just want to like be with like-minded people. So you can like split up the rooms. You can split up the entire house. Somebody can live out back in the garage, whatever. But I truly think that we're coming back into that time where people will say, like, you know what, I just want to be around like-minded people because of this state of where we're in. And people are going to live together and pool their money together and start communities, and more of the division is going to be more in the back burner. I don't think we're going to go into like this for utopia, but I do think we're reaching like a time where like happy days, like that's only like, not like Alex was saying, like not bubble gum, not all peaches and cream, but I truly think that people are going to come more together and form these communes. Like I can already see it happening, like tiny home communities. I think it's going to be a huge one. Like bus communities, like people who have bus homes, like that's something I've always wanted to do. RV communities. Like I have land, I have like, I think my sister gave me her portion. Anyway, I think I have like 2.5 acres now in Florida. I've always wanted to grab like maybe 10 people, like little introverts, maybe one extrovert, uh, and say like, do y'all want to like live for free? Just come on my land. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I've always wanted to do this. And if I have my land and I already want to do this, if more people, you know, say like, hey, I have $1,000, you have $1,000, let's buy land and let's build tiny homes. Like I can see that happening, and I really, 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 really want that.
I can see it happening.
What do y'all think?
I think when you kind of find your people and your people are on it, that's what makes it happen. And I agree with the optimism of Alex, right? I'm a super optimistic person, girl. It's one of my superpowers. But I think that's kind of the way to go. And for a lot of us, we're getting dematerialized, right? You're getting pulled away from the allure of materialism, and it's becoming more about community and connection.
I think that if my dreams don't come true, then that is what will happen. But here's what I'm thinking. I think that us having to fix the problem that these negative entities did is not our responsibility. And I think that I do believe in God, and that God said he will not let his people go. Like literally God, like we had a reset. We've had so many resets. We had the Great Flood. We had the Mud Flood. They got rid of Tartaria. They didn't tell us about the World Fairs. We had a mental reset in Y2K. We lost the silent war from 93 to 95, and they reset us in Y2K. That's why we've been in this downward spiral since then. Who's to say that there won't be a reset coming at the end of the year? We don't know. Could be a mental reset. Who's to say a reset's not coming? Because I'm sorry, but God is not abandoning his people. I tell God, this is not my problem to fix.
Talk to him.
I did not create this problem. Maybe in a past life, maybe my ancestors, but my ancestors have suffered enough. My ancestors are back, and we are done being slaves to this society. We're done being slaves to this earth, that we did not create this problem. So I have faith in God, that God, whatever it may it be aliens, may it be Jesus, may it be God, I don't give a fuck what it is, but something is coming to save us, because we did not create this. This is not our problem to fix. It is not our problem to fix. I don't know if it's a matrix where I keep having dreams where we like walk into a different reality, like kind of like Free Guy, where he jumps the cloud and he's in this new earth. That is what I keep seeing in my head. And so I'm like, listen, y'all can think I'm crazy, but if I have the power to create my reality, like I've been told time and time again, you are the creator, then I'm gonna create this reality, because I did not make us in this fucking hole, and it is not my problem to build it back up. Because if we have to build communes and we have to farm and we are going backwards, we're going backwards. Why would we go backwards? We got to go forward. We don't have to fix what they've done. I do believe there's bigger powers out there, and I do believe that something is coming to save us. So people say, oh, no one's coming to save you. Why not? Why not? Why can't something come save us? We had the Mud Flood and they erased it from our history. Who's to say we had a mental reset in Y2K? Who's to say something bigger isn't coming? Because we should be so far more advanced than we are, because they took us back in time with the Mud Flood and the World Fairs. So who's to say that we aren't so far behind that we have quantum leaped into the future that is not really the future? It is now. It's just that we were so brainwashed to think that we are way far gone as a society and as a species that we shouldn't have been. So now these upgrades, I mean, we're getting our DNA upgrades. These disasters, they're natural disasters. This is Mama Gaia activating her chakras, cleaning out the people that need to be cleaned out. Not everyone is going to make it to the end. Only a third of humanity will make it to the end, because they chose in their contracts to be here for the Great Reset. I believe there's a reset coming. A lot of my followers are having dreams about a reset coming. I believe there's some, I don't know what it is, but I'm not ruling anything out. I think saying, oh, it's dangerous to say you're not going to pay taxes. Why? Dangerous to who? Dangerous to the system. Again, it's your own block in your brain. You are stopping yourself. We are so powerful. We have everything within us. We should have our 12 DNA activated. We should be doing telepathy. We should be doing telekinesis. We should be doing everything. They stopped us from doing it. So who's to say that now it's not going to happen in a blink of an eye, because we have been so regressed. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is all this MK Ultra stuff coming out now? What if we have been MK Ultra? What if we are an experiment? What if we one day wake up and it's a whole different reality and we're like fucking Neo in the Matrix and we're like,
we're in the Matrix.
You know? Yeah, like who's to say?
You know what though? Like that's so crazy that you say that. Like, what if we are though? What if we keep like? What if this aspect of amnesia is part of the
Matrix?
The Matrix,
we are in the
right?
future. We don't remember.
And by the way,
in the Matrix.
for those who
Get it, bro.
Yeah. For those who don't know, me and Alex, we talk like the same way that we talk right now. We talk to each other like this.
Me, like,
so
you know, being a bitch.
Yeah.
This is just how I talk because I get passionate about how I talk about stuff. Because I'm like, because listen, if I have the influence, right? I have an influence.
Yeah.
People say I'm dangerous because you have 1 million followers. You have an influence. Well, guess what? I'm gonna use that influence to get everybody back to their childhood mind before they were infiltrated by the system. Before you got to get a kid before the age of 3 to fuck their life up, and especially by the age of 7, which is why school starts at the age of 5, because if you can get there into their head before the age of 7, you have ruined population. So let's go back to before they killed our imagination, before they killed our dreams, and let's live that. Why can't we? Why do we have to subscribe to this reality? We don't have to.
Yeah, let's touch on that. Like what she just said, right? We are okay, so up until the age of 6, right? You're in your theta stage. Like, holy shit, Alex, that was bars, because until the age of 6, you're in your theta stage. So you are literally, wow, you're literally being hypnotized. And I think I said this probably like the last live that we did, but you are literally being hypnotized, right? So that is actually a part of the Matrix, right? Like when you come back in here, if you weren't, let's say if your brain wasn't in theta stage and your brain was in the same stage that it was in when your soul left this body, then you will come back in remembering everything. That's why you have children that come in right now and their brains kind of like bypass the frequency, so they get little glimpses of, wait a minute, this is who I was in my past life. And then, you know, more chemtrails come and like more frequencies hit them and then they completely forget. So I truly think that we're supposed to be born in a cycle with some sort of memory, but it's like their frequencies outpowers that memory and then we forget. Wow. Okay. So let's say like you didn't have that amnesia and like you were able to remember your past lives and you were able to remember where you came from, right? Then life wouldn't be life, because from the moment that you can speak, you go
look
at your mom and be like, what the fuck is this? Like, I was just here.
Exactly.
How do I get up out of here?
Exactly.
Why am I back? Right? But the whole system is for you to go through school, for you to like, go through schools, chemtrails, go through more school, chemtrails. Because I really think that these chemtrails, right? Like, it's I mean, the chemicals in it, like, it's a chemical cocktail for memory loss. That's one of the biggest things in there. So, like, that's why I truly think that when you go into a room and you're like, what was I going to do? I think that those two things are connected, because that happens heavily, especially now that they're starting to spray more chemtrails. Like, it's more of those, like, holy shit, what was I about to say? Or like, shit, what was I about to do? Yeah, it's more of those moments. And like, I'm an herbalist. I have hundreds of memory herbs here that I take every day. So my memory should be like this. But if I'm going like, wait, what was I about to do? And I just took some Bacopa, that shouldn't be, that shouldn't be added up. So I do think that the fact that we do come in here in a theta stage, we are hypnotized. And that hypnosis goes through grade school. That's why around that age, you have to do what? You got to go to school. And so around that age, they know exactly, like, they are so clever with this, because
and
it's
that's
like,
why
oh shit,
that's
time's
why
up. Let's go ahead and get that programming.
Once it gets exposed, before the trafficking stuff came out, I said once it gets exposed what they're doing to children behind the scenes, that everyone is doing, is not just Hollywood, it is politics, it is the United Nations. The UN was the New World Order. It already happened. They all joined forces. They put us under the spell. They already did this. Once this gets exposed, it will crumble the entire system, because humanity is so asleep to what's really happening behind the scenes. They're not going to believe it, but it has to come out. And that's why this stuff keeps happening every single day. And I'm like, and until you guys wake up and realize what's happening, more shit will come out because we all have to get on one timeline. All the timelines are merging right now. That's what's happening. We're all coming into one. So everyone knows the truth. The truth is coming out. I'm so excited.
Excited for that.
That's a fact. And like more of these young ones, that somebody just posted, the old ancient ones are the babies that are being born, that are being birthed right now. So more of these young, like I posted a video, I don't know when it was, but it was like this baby that just came out the womb, like kind of looking around, and like a lot of people are like, oh, he's a Jad baby, but I'm like, no, y'all, there's something happening right now where like, it's like we reached the end of the alphabet.
That baby's been here
right?
before.
We're like,
yes. Gen Alpha. They're golden.
So like,
they're our ancestors.
If y'all look at everything that's happening, like we're literally due for, like, I don't want to say we're due for a great reset, but like I kept thinking that when we were at the end of like Gen Z, I was like, holy shit, what are we gonna do now? I kept thinking that, like, but then people just kept saying Gen Alpha, and I'm like, no, this is some type of reset. We can't just go from Z to A without some type of like ceremony or some shit. Like there's like something happening in the higher timeline. So that's why okay, so you know how like you learn about history and then you're like, history repeats itself. So the history of yesterday was just today. Like the history is the present, but in a repeated loop, right? But what's happening right now, the things that are happening right now is like shit that's actually like never fucking happened before, like ever, like not to our ancestors, like no. So we are literally in a time like where people are getting these like barcodes and put it in, like, this is never, I mean, the Holocaust, people were getting like numbers, whatever, but like tracking systems, operating systems, like the way that the technology is escalated now and where we are right now, is actually like never happened before. So this is another reason why I say we don't know what's about to happen tomorrow, because we're dealing with things that like actually never fucking happen.
And that's why I say you never know. You never know. Never say never.
Yeah. And like another thing that's happening, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. I don't give a fuck if nobody understand, but some shit's happening, right? The other, like, I was like last month on TikTok, I saw this girl. She was in the kitchen. She was cutting a lemon. Stop you if you saw it. And she went to go get a bag, and then you saw it happening on the fucking video. The lemon came back together. It was no film editing. I'm a filmmaker. I know there was no film editing. She came back to the lemon, and you just saw her like, she looked around like, wait, what the fuck happened? And then she picked up the lemon that she just cut, and it was put back together.
About that.
And we all saw it happening the way.
It was like months ago.
Yeah, I saw that on your page.
Everyone thought I was crazy because I was like, bro, it's a glitch. And they're like, you're crazy.
Yeah.
It got like 1 million views. I'm like, y'all don't want to believe this has been happening for months. This shit. It's just talking to us. And did you see that video of the kid? He said his mom was recording him, and she said, what did you say? And he said, I'm from the moon, and I came here to help with the alien invasion that was supposed to happen when I'm 4, and he's 4 now. And I was like, I believe him, because we do have moonlings. We just discovered a species on the moon that just got created, I guess. But I was like, I believe the kid. I believe these kids. They are not from here. They are here to help us. Remember, they were our ancestors. I'm telling you.
Facts. That's like a baby's guitar.
Oh, we would
like they would be the teachers. Like for real. But another thing that I see that's happening. Okay, so like, I saw that like my last apartment. This guy was moving out, and he was like, hey, I got this stuff. Do you want it? And I was like, yeah, I like free stuff. Let me get it. He gave me one pastry dish and like a whole bunch of other stuff. I now have 2 pastry dishes. He only gave me 1. That was one example. Let's say you walk into a room and you pick up something. Let's say you pick up something, right? And you place it in the closet. You come back to the room and it's back on the table. Like, things like that has been happening, but I haven't been saying anything. So like, Nobody's gonna
Mhm.
believe that shit, you know. Because, but like you, but when it
No,
happens, you're
it's
like,
happening.
wait, something. You can like, you stop and you're like, wait, something's actually happening right now. Because I know for a fact that I put that water on the first shelf and now it's on the third shelf. So like things that are happening like that, where you can't really, you can't really tell anybody else unless you happen to have a phone and you catch it at that moment or somebody else is with you, because if you tell somebody, they'll be like, cool bro, block, because you're like, they're gonna think
Yeah.
that you,
No,
they're gonna think
that's
you
why you
lost
gotta
it,
tell
they're
me.
gonna think you lost it because
That's why my followers tell me. They're like, I have
hey,
2 of these sweaters. I don't know where they came from. I've only had one my entire life. I just found another one. What is happening? I'm like, I've been telling y'all, a glitch in the matrix. I posted a video because I was at my friend's house and his refrigerator changed from a white refrigerator to a silver one. And I made a video about it. And everyone
the
thought I was
silver one, oh my
crazy.
god.
And we started talking about Mandela effects and timeline glitches with his sister. And she was like, I remember the white one. What do you mean? And I said, because the white one existed at some point. I was on the timeline of only seeing this white refrigerator, and something happened in a glitch in a matrix, and it was when the Schumann resonance had the blip, and that next day the fridge was silver. I was like, what the fuck is happening? And I made a video about it. Everybody thought I was crazy. I was like, I don't give a fuck. And then everybody started having glitches and messaging me, because the more that we bring attention to this, the universe talks to us every day. The universe wants us to see what it's telling us. We stop ourselves from believing it because logically doesn't make sense, but the universe is not logical. It's not.
Right. Wait, hold up. What do you
Wait a
mean the
minute
chase
now.
sign? Okay, let's talk about some new Mandela effects. What do you mean?
You
What do you
didn't.
mean the chase sign changed? Huh? Okay, I know for a fact one new Mandela effect is
Oh,
black
yeah.
squirrels, because my mom is in her 60s. She's been in Detroit her whole life. She's just now saw black squirrels. And you got people that are in my comment section saying like, "Oh, I'm 30. I've been here in Detroit my whole life,
I've
and
never
I've seen
seen
black
one.
squirrels." Like I was born
Never.
and raised here, y'all. I've never saw black squirrels are brand new to me. Like me and my mom was just watching them the other day when we had our smoke session. We were both looking at them like, the fuck? Like, cause she was baffled. She was baffled, right? And so you have people who are here that saying like they've been seeing these black squirrels forever, and I'm like, bro, like the first time I saw a black squirrel was in Harlem in 2018, and then people in Harlem were saying
I've
like they never saw them
never seen
there.
them.
If I see
So
a outside of my
that's
I
one
know
Mandela
something.
effect for me.
I
No.
think this is what we're
Right.
talking about when I say all the timelines are merging with the Mandela effects. Like, okay, the Britney Spears Mandela effect with her schoolgirl, with her outfit. I remember it being a plaid,
Right.
like a blue-green plaid skirt. I have photos of me dressed up as Britney Spears for talent shows. I used to dress up as her all the time with the same skirt, okay? Now the Mandela effect is her skirt is black. If her skirt was black, I would have bought a black skirt to dress like her. But everyone is saying
black.
it was never black,
Mm.
and now it's black. And I'm like, okay, how are you gonna tell? You look it up. She even on her Instagram recreated it recently with the plaid skirt. So why would the skirt be black now? You look up Baby One More Time, it's black. These are Mandela effects that we cannot explain that just happen. So like, who's to say it's not just, who's to say we didn't die yesterday and now we're back again and didn't know? It's like Westworld. That's what I think our reality is. It's like Westworld. We die and don't know it and come back and we're playing the game again. That's
I
it.
think Astro said, yep.
What if we died in
Yeah.
2012, yo? Like, for
Who's
real,
to
what
say?
like, because I'm telling you, when I physically felt that shift, and like even I remember I went to New York in 2012 for this little music tour that I was having, and I literally kept saying to my friend like, I think I just experienced a walk in. Like I kept saying that because I didn't feel the same. Like I started to like new things. Like there was just new things that happened in my life, like things I didn't like before I started to like, flavors that I didn't like. You know, it's like these little changes where like you look at yourself like, who are you? You know,
that's
like,
no, I said
so
that.
what if we actually did
When did you say that?
quantum
Yeah.
leap?
2012? Okay, I felt that way for
2012.
2020. I mean, 2012, I started my awakening of questioning things, but I mean, I already knew a lot. But you know, with the a lot of conspiracy stuff that came out made me really open my eyes more. But in 2020, I was like, did I have a walk-in? Did I have a soul swap? Because I feel like a whole different person than I was before 2020. Like, I don't even recognize myself now. It's insane. It makes me wonder. Or did we just like wake up? I don't know.
What if we are on these new timelines, right? Like somebody just said it, quantum immortality, to where it's like you can leave one reality, but you wouldn't know. But okay, so the only thing that I have with this quantum immortality theory is the fact that there is a life review. So it's hard to think that somebody can jump from one, sleeve to another sleeve without having the life review that so many souls go through. When you form your soul contract and you go through your soul connections and you see what new, destination you're going to. And I can't say like this is what happens for certainty, but I can say what I experienced when I was on dimethyltryptamine, and I know the place that we go to. I know I know for a fact I can put my entire soul on this. I know where we go when we die, because when I took the DMT, I know that I was in a place that I've been to millions of times. Like I felt it in my soul. I was like, oh shit, I'm back already. I didn't get a chance to stay body at so and so and so. So I know, like I felt my crown chakra pop. Like I know with all of me, that's where we go. So if that's where we go when we die, then this quantum immortality thing is kind of hard to believe, because it's like even some of the children who went through this, who have past life memories. One child said, "Mommy, I remember." I think he said the way he died, and then he said he remember going to like a white light, and then he came out of his mom or something like that. So it's like that. The soul contract part was the amnesia. He doesn't like. Your soul doesn't remember that part. It's fresh from the death to the new life. And I truly feel as though whatever death that we went through becomes like a phobia in like our new life,
Yes.
like in some way.
I had a phobia of choking, like dying by suffocation, and then I found out I was killed by essentially a reptilian, like a Draco in another life, choking me to death, which is why this life I was scared. But I also was born with my umbilical cord around my neck, so I was born like dead without any air. So that's also like trauma. So it's always been like inside of me. But somebody asked, can you describe what it looked like for you? Because I also have that question. When you did DMT, like what was it like?
He spoke about it.
Yes. Oh my God. Okay. Yes. It's one of those. Do you guys have an experience that happened in your life that like you put it at the top of like life-changing experiences? Like this happened to you. It's like something that you would never forget. Like, so DMT is like that. It's probably the most, it's not like, oh, it's one of the most, it's the most scary / beautiful thing that's ever happened to me. When I say scary, I do mean like I was I was shitless. You know what I mean? Because I was like, oh shit, I'm dead now. Rest in peace, me. But I was like, I took it, I smoked a little bit, and then immediately, it's not like with marijuana where it's kind of like 5 minutes and you're like, oh shit, I'm stoned. It's like immediately you're like, I'm there. It's kind of like you fall back. And for me, I know it's different with everybody. I felt my crown chakra like you just like hear a noise and it's like poop. And then immediately when that happened, it's kind of like the eject button was hit on my soul. My soul just kind of like flew out of my body. And then I was spiraling down this, the best way I know how to describe it is like Looney Tunes, or like that like orange Looney Tune logo, or like a barbershop blue and white thing that kind of spins like in the front of the barbershop. So it's like you're in the middle of one of those, and it's kind of like, whoa, like you're in a cartoon, like
Yeah.
where they're falling, or like it's kind of like that. So I was like literally falling, and the entire time I was falling, I was thinking about my ex-girlfriend, my sisters, my mom. Like I was like, I can't get a chance to say bye to Danielle and like all these people. And so I was thinking about that, and I start to hear this like, I didn't see any light people because I don't think I smoked enough, but I saw or I heard this humming sound. It's kind of like it was almost like a song that you can't really make out. Like, I saw the Eiffel Tower. I saw the number 57. Kind of like, it was like I died at the age of 57. I don't know if it's like this life or my last life, but like I just felt that. I saw through my roommate's body. I saw like I was waving my hands in the air, but the air was kind of like water. Like I saw the waves in the air. I saw through the building. But I started to get freaked out, so I asked my roommate to slap me, and then like the whole experience was kind of over. But people who go deeper into that, like I was also on LSD, but people who go deeper,
So why not? Let's
yeah.
try it all.
But people who go, yeah, yeah. I was going through a huge death and rebirth cycle in 2015, like huge. That's when they were doing like the whole Jade Helm, like exercises in Florida. I don't know if y'all remember that. Yeah, like they were getting people outside their homes and like putting them in white vans, lining them up. Like I was like conspiracy crazy. Like I just had my roommate in front of the TV, like, look what they're doing to us. Look what, it was, so I was going through like a huge life and death rebirth cycle. But part of that cycle was DMT, because DMT isn't something that you go out and you look for, like, hey, you got some DMT? It finds you. Like Mother Ayahuasca finds you when your ass is ready.
Have you done
You
ayahuasca?
know what I mean? No, hell no. No, DMT was enough for me. I don't know if ayahuasca finds me, if she finds me and she is ready to teach me something, then I'll be open. But DMT was enough for me. I learned my lesson, mama.
DMT, I did bufo and I did
Like,
not trip. I just purged, and yeah, and I had to
really?
smoke a lot to try to get it through. I had a throat entity stopping me, didn't want the DMT to go through, so I kept coughing and coughing and coughing. She had to use so much on me. I was doing bufo and she was like, okay, and I was just like crying. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't get it. And then finally we just broke it up into three small breaths of 10 seconds. I got it, and all I did was just purge and purge and purge, and it was like I could feel there were entities pulling down on me that didn't want to let go. They wanted to hold on to me, and I was like, get out, and I just had to like purge, and that was it. And everybody had an amazing experience. They were like, oh, it was beautiful. And I'm like, it must be nice. I have had traumatic experiences on everything except acid. Acid was the only good one. That's it. Ooh, it was bad. So she invited me back to do it. She wants me to have that experience. But I was like, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to take a break, and we'll go back when I'm ready.
I was on a Reddit thread last night, Astro, when we were I was like, what's the topic going to be? So I kind of like deep diving into a little bit of everything. But there were a lot of people. So I went to, like, first I was like, the satellites are the satellite stars, and and then the grid from the planes, because when you're on an airplane, you look down and everything's a grid, right? And so I ended up on this Reddit file, and there were a lot of people who had took LSD, and they were saying that they all saw a grid in the sky. A lot of them saw the flower of life in the sky. Like we see this sacred geometry pattern, in the sky. I thought that was very, very interesting. What do you think about that?
I love hearing stories about people that have done any type of psychedelic in any way and seeing the same thing, because it lets us know that there is more beyond us, and that there's no way that they could all be talking to the same entities or seeing the same things unless it was real. Because in ayahuasca, the same thing. One of the girls saw the grid in the sky. She saw like clocks turning, like wheels turning, and she got stuck in this loop. And when you're in ayahuasca, you tend to get stuck in a loop. I got stuck in a loop of hell. It was horrible. I just watched humanity destroy itself over and over and over again, and it was like flushing down a toilet, and I kept having to like relive it, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so tired of watching you guys destroy yourself. I was so dizzy, and I heard the worst sounds I could ever hear of women and children crying, and I literally covered my ears, even though it was all in my head. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore, and my higher self was like, it's what you need to see right now. And I'm like, fuck, this sucks. I don't want to do this. It was so hard. My ayahuasca trip like brought me down. She called to me. I didn't even know, like, what is ayahuasca? Like, I had heard of it, but she was like, you're doing ayahuasca. I said no, like, to this one, the one where I did it. I was like, I don't want to do it there. They literally came to my restaurant and found me. Like, she made the people that have been there find me, not knowing. They didn't know. They just came to eat at the restaurant I was working, and I was like, oh, are you guys the ones that do ayahuasca here? They're like, yeah. And I'm like, all right, the bitch is calling. I guess I gotta go. So I followed the calling, but man, it's rough. But I think it's really cool to see that this cannot be made up. This is this. There is more beyond us, because people are seeing the same things, and when you read those stories, it's confirmation.
Yeah.
A lot of people have seen the grid in the sky. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, me personally, I've not seen the grid. I've seen fireballs on LSD. That's something that pops up with me. I don't know why. I just like, I thought it was like a hallucination at first, but then I was on the rooftop and I saw two fireballs, and I was like, what are these things? Like,
That's
why are
it.
they going off right now? So yeah, like I'm a huge, or I don't want to say, I don't want to say huge. But I like psychedelics. I like mushroom. I like I like mushrooms. Mushrooms is my favorite one, just because of the history of mushrooms. I don't know if you guys know about it, but here's 10 seconds of it. Mushrooms are like, they were like praised, right? Like, mushrooms used to be like the same size as our current trees. Mushrooms were worshipped by the Pope. You look at the Pope's outfit, especially the one that's red. It's kind of like modeled after a mushroom. They used to use mushrooms in ceremonies. Mushrooms are like they were. If you look at like a lot of old ancient religious texts, some of them, especially the Mayans, used to call it mana. They were talking about mushrooms. They call it like the food from the gods, because a lot of ancients used to like just eat these things, and they would have like these sites. They would have like Ezekiel's wheel, right? From the Bible, you would see like these flying, whatever. These visions will come to you through mushrooms, because mushrooms are directly connected to source. Yeah, LSD, somebody said. So whenever I would take these things, I would notice certain things, whether it be like the person I was around. I would get a glimpse at like maybe our history, or one of my favorite trips was on a rooftop in LA, where we were just like outside, and like you could just feel the elements of the earth. Like, my favorite is when you take the psychedelic, and I'm not, disclaimer, I'm not imploring anybody to go out and do psychedelics. Please be responsible at all times. But when you do get into that element, and it's it's not like it found you, and you're being used, it's being used, y'all have this union to where lessons can come out of it. I truly think it's a beautiful experience, man, because like the only reason that they're here is because the source put them here, so that we could take them and that we can have these revelations and be like, holy shit, this is a fucking simulation. Like, that's why they're here. Because
Yes.
like
Yes.
they're cheat codes, like mushrooms, LSD, like all of they're cheat codes, because the most religious person, even probably an NPC could take it and get a little bit of spark of, you know, like, so even the most religious person could take it, and then after, whatever vessel or whatever medium that comes to them, they'll start to question the nature of their reality.
How do you eat your mushrooms?
So,
I hate the taste.
Oh, that was so gross. I just eat them. I eat them raw, like, or with cookies, or like with tea or something like that. But yeah, I suck it up.
Sucking it up for a minute, and now I'm like, I can't
get all that nasty
smell. I want to just be able to grind it and put it in like a capsule. But next time I do mushrooms, I'm gonna do a sacred ceremony. I've never done a sacred ceremony with mushrooms. I've only done it by myself. So I'm definitely gonna do a sacred ceremony. And now that I'm in a different headspace, I would love to see what comes through. I think that's a good.
Somebody said good night. Yeah, we have about 10 more minutes, guys, because my phone's on 25%. But I will say that, I truly feel as though I wish we had like mushroom centers, so where people could use it in moderation and understand the quality, the benefits of mushrooms. and how they could change somebody's entire lives. They can help with mental disorders. They can help with mood swings. They can help with,
Did you watch
I
How
mean,
to Change Your Mind on Netflix
everything.
about that? Oh my God, watch it. It's a
No, I
4-part
haven't.
episode
I haven't.
series about
Hmm.
psychedelics, and it goes into mushrooms and
Hmm.
acid, and how
Hmm.
back in the 60s and 70s it was used as an antidepressant. People would microdose on it, and how it was helping. And the reason that it became illegal was because people were
Hmm.
refusing to sign up for the military because they loved everyone and they didn't want to go to war. And so they came out with the propaganda of, oh, you do acid, you're going to shoot your brains out. You're not going to want to do it. They made it illegal so that people could sign up for the military. But I actually have a little bottle that you can microdose with mushrooms. They sell it here in California. And I was doing mushrooms a lot at the time when I bought it, so I haven't
Wow.
tried it again. I pulled it back out. I was like, I think I want to microdose on it. You take one day, one capsule one day, skip 2 days, and it's supposed to help regulate and stuff. It is very good. I even told my aunt about it, who's like not into this stuff, and I was like, I think you should microdose on like LSD or mushrooms because it actually really helps. There's people in other countries that do it. The only place that LSD is legal right now is is it Sweden or Switzerland? One of the two.
Probably Switzerland.
They have, what was that? Not Switzerland?
I said probably
Mm.
Switzerland.
Yeah, it's in one of them. It is legal, and it talks about it in the documentary. I really want to go to one of those clinics. I really want to go to an LSD clinic. I would love to open clinics here. I mean, we do have the churches of ayahuasca and mushrooms and bufo, but man, an LSD clinic
Mm.
would be amazing. And they have ketamine clinics here too. Like, why don't we have an LSD clinic? We should.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say like this beautiful soul just said, it's important to
Mm-hmm.
form a relationship before taking them.
Oh,
Like that's
yes.
true, because sometimes you have to talk to the plants. Yeah, you have to talk to the plants. And me being an herbalist, I talk to all my plants before I use them to make sure they don't want me all up in them. Because you have to make sure that the plant is ready to be received, ready to be um,
Okay.
accepted into your consciousness. Um, so yeah, again, I would just say just be responsible, man. Like, because sometimes you have people who like you'll go out and seek for these things, and yeah, you'll find them. But like, if you're not ready, and then you're expecting to go out and have this experience that you hear us talking about, then you'll form like a negative relationship with the the psychedelic because you weren't being patient, you didn't put the energy out there and then let it find you. You went out actively looking for it. So you just have to be careful. I can't stress this enough. You have to be careful because when people aren't ready for it, then like you can have people to kind of like lose their mind, like lose themselves in these type of things. Especially I've heard some stories about people kind of like taking ayahuasca and never being the same. So like you really have to be careful that you are going into these things with an open heart, an open mind, an open understanding of what you want out of it. Because if you're just looking for a good time, like
I would
go play
definitely
Scrabble, like
not
go
recommend how I
go.
did it, because it was me, just like the universe was calling me, and that's why I got into all this stuff. It was part of my journey. But like it obviously, Mama Aya knew I could handle the shit I went through and I needed to experience it. But some people left after night one. I mean, this was a 3-day ceremony. People left after night one. They could not handle it because it is the things that you are going to
Yeah.
see if you don't set an intention, if you aren't doing your meditations, if you aren't eating clean, if you are drinking. I mean, it is a lot. You have to purge your body of so many toxins before you do this stuff, because it can take you to a place that you don't know if you can come back from mentally, because you will see like people have seen themselves like in other lives being R-worded or like beaten to death, and it's hard images to and you're living it in that moment. You are in it. It takes you back. And I would definitely recommend doing it with the right people, sacred ceremonies, please. I mean, I would do shrooms in my room by myself and put like frequencies on, and it was like that because I didn't know about these ceremonies, but I knew what my intention was, to connect to a higher source. So I had that intention inside me. But I did acid with my friend, and and I was going through this like amazing experience of like feeling so connected to God, and like I was bawling my eyes out, and he's over here like tripping balls, like, it's so stupid. I was like, I'm never doing acid with you again, because I'm like, I'm having a moment in my awakening, and if you're around these people who are not on the same frequency level as you, they can really pull you out of the experience and make it, and also be sure of where your mind is at, because acid is amazing, but some people have had really bad experiences on acid, and it takes them to hell instead because of the energy that is around them. So this stuff, I would not recommend. Some people do it just to party. They do it at raves, whatever. But if you're looking for like these experiences, I would say definitely think ahead, plan ahead, set the intentions, prepare your body, because you don't know where it's going to take you. The medicine has a mind of its own.
Intention is everything.
Yes. All right. So, this has actually been one of my favorites.
You know what?
This has been
I
a really
love
fucking good
hearing
talk.
that. Every time I've been doing podcasts with people, and they go, "This is my favorite." I'm like, "You're welcome."
Like I come into it knowing, you know, because Alex, you already know you already know what the energy is. So I came into it kind of knowing that it would, you know, it would be good, especially because we haven't connected in a minute. And, you know, Kayla, you know what your energy does. So like this has been super dope. So let's do our rounds of closing words.
Well, I have a question. Are you gonna post this on your
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. This will be available on my page, on my YouTube, and on the podcast tomorrow.
Because all right, tag was it Kayla?
Yeah.
Tag Kayla so I can follow her.
Yes.
I've been screen recording so I can post it, but I started a little late, but I'm gonna post it on mine. It's really long. I don't know how long it'll take to upload.
Yeah, we normally do like at least an hour.
I know every time I get on, it's 2 hours.
Yeah. So, Ebony, you say no class next Thursday. Possibly. There may be a class next Thursday. Just be on the lookout. I know with everybody, you know, people could be traveling, go, you know, with families. Since it's Christmas is next week, y'all. I didn't even like, that's crazy, right? So I'm trying to be mindful of that, because that will be 2 days before Christmas Eve. So if y'all want to get together, y'all want to have another little, you know, meeting like this, then y'all just let me know. We can do this again. Somebody already said yes. Oh shit. Somebody already said yes. Let's meet. So yeah, okay. We can do that. Okay. So I still got a lot I want to say, but for my closing words,
Okay.
No, ladies first.
Well, I think in case we don't meet again before we turn over into 2023, I would like to just end it by saying, everyone, I know that the year has flew by, you know, and the weeks and the days, they fly by. But let's all remember that we're in a time of rest, reflection. You know, I know society doesn't set it up like that, because this is a time where people are usually, you know, stressing over you know, bills, gifts, and things like that. Christmas is next week, like you just said. But definitely rest and reflection, y'all, and go within, trust your intuition, and when you find your people, hold your people close. And I'm pointing at y'all because y'all are my people. So when you find your people, hold your people close.
That was beautiful.
I just want to say thank you so much for having me on. It was awesome talking to both of you, meeting Kayla, and I'm happy that you got to understand my point of view and where I'm coming from, because at first you're like, this girl crazy, ain't no way we can stop paying taxes here. And I'm like, never say never, wishes do come true. So I've been saying Santa is real and we're gonna have a great Christmas. So I say keep the vibes high. I literally been telling my followers, stop stressing. I know the holidays are here. Chill out, be with loved ones, enjoy this time, because like you guys say, like, we don't know what's coming. We don't know what's next. We don't know, like, enjoy the moment now. Be present. Be in the moment. Take time for yourself. Remember that like this is all material bullshit that we can't take with us. So just be with the people you love. And it is a huge time for manifesting. So I don't care if your reality is I want to live in a rainbow. Make that happen. Literally write it down and make it happen, because our manifestations are coming true at record speed. I mean, it is insane how fast our manifestations are happening. So I would say whatever you want your reality to be for 2023, write it down, manifest it, and it will come true. If you believe, you have to believe that it'll happen. That's it. That's it. You are so powerful. You can have anything you want, and we deserve it. We have suffered long enough, and we're done suffering. So everyone just be happy, be cheerful. Yeah, be happy, be cheerful, create your own reality, and know that we do have more beyond us, and they can come and help us out. So we don't have to do everything. We've done enough. We have done enough. But thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for having me. It was so much fun talking to you guys about all this stuff. So I love it.
Yes. I've loved this as well. This has been so chill. My closing words, I would say, one thing I want to say is we had the guy who just passed from the Ellen show, Twitch. Yeah, I wasn't too familiar. I saw him a couple times. Always had good energy. So rest in peace to that brother. A moment of silence for him. Another thing that I will say is that, death happens in threes. So just look out for two more.
Oh, they already have the first two that were connected to Ellen.
Two more names.
Anne Heche and
cool.
Fuck, what is his name? I keep wanting to say Jordan Lewis, but it's not Jordan Lewis. But it's something similar. I posted it on my story last night. It's an actor, that little short actor. He recently died. No. Somebody told me what the name is. Somebody told me.
The comedian?
Emmanuel Lewis.
Huh?
The comedian?
He's a comedian, yeah. He's a short, small, white guy who was really close to Ellen. Leslie Jordan. Thank you. Leslie Jordan. That's the three. She sacrificed 3 because she's on the Epstein list. And so she's trying to make sure that shit don't get out. But it's out. It's out. Yeah.
I got a feeling before 2023 comes, they might take another name, and then they might take another.
Oh, they're gonna keep going.
At the beginning,
they're gonna keep falling like flies.
Yeah. But I will say, y'all, it's I'm not a really big holiday person per se. Y'all know how we do with the holidays. These pagan. Y'all know what the real meaning is. But I will say that I like the spirit of the holidays. I like the way that it makes people feel. People just get a lot more festive and a lot happier and cheerful around these times. So I'll say just spend some time with family. Spend some time with the people that mean something to you. Go to the dollar store. Just grab a card to say thinking of you or something. Just do something that somebody's not expecting you to do to show them that you care about them, right? Just do something out of the gratitude of your heart for somebody because they mean something to you. Just show people with your actions versus your words. So I say before the year's over, do one act of generosity, one act of kindness for somebody that means something to you. And for somebody one thing that I want to do, so I went to my favorite bookstore here in Detroit. It's the largest bookstore in Michigan. I bought these Christmas cards, right? And they're from, I don't know where they're from, but they're really old. And they have these names in them. I guess the people who they were for. But I have 10 or 15 of these. If you guys want a personalized Christmas card and you don't mind another name being in there, DM me a mailing address for you, and DM me your either your birth time, your sun sign, something personal, so I can send you a personalized message with the intuitive feeling that comes up when I see your information. So if I need 10 or 15 people to send me their information, and I will send you a personalized.
There's 100 people on. They're all going to be DMing you.
Right. Get ready.
Honestly, I'm surprised it's that many people because they don't send out my lives to people. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys so much, Kayla and Alex, for this amazing talks, for this exchange of energy. Yeah, thank you so much. So I'm going to go ahead and chime us out 3 times. With each chime, take a deep breath, set your attention for the rest of the day. Here we go. I can feel it in my bones. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a blessed day and a blessed weekend.
Thank you.
Hopefully, I'll see you next Thursday.
Bye.